affection, showing a love by sending a gift. Quite a gift, more than 500 animals. And now look at the style or the way he sends them. Pasuk Yud Zayin. Vayiten bi'ad avadav. He has messengers. He has his own avadim servants. Eder levado. Each and every type of animal is separate, is sent as a separate flock. Vayomer levadav, and the plan is to his servants, Ivru lefanai, go before me. Verevach tasimu. Make a space in between each species. Okay, each type of animal, and therefore the line will even be longer. Bein eder uvein eder. So there's anyone who casts his eyes on seeing such quite a gift. Wow, he's going to take a double look. Wow, this is really something special. Pasuk Yudchet, Vayitzav et harishon lemor. He commands the first group going forward. Ki yifgashecha Esav achi. Esav, my brother, when he meets you, Ushe'elecha lemor is thinking, right? He's thinking what's going to happen in the future. What did Chazal say about the rhetorical question, Miu HaChacham? Mishnah Pirkei Avot. Miu HaChacham, the Mishnah rhetorically asks, and the Mishnah responds, Haro'eh et hanolad. If you see what will be the result of your action, what is going to be becoming. Haro'eh, the one that sees what will be happening, he is a Chacham. Yaakov Avinu is showing his down-to-earth wisdom. He's saying, look, when you get there, and if Esav asks you, Lemi ata, who do you belong to? Ve'anna telech, where are you going? Ulemi eila lefanecha, and who does this belong to? 3 questions. Brilliant. What is your response to him? Pasuk Yutet, verse 19, look inside. Ve'amarta, you shall say to him, by the way, lemor. Say it politely. Say it with warmth. Ve'amarta li'avdecha li'Yaakov. Do you see what, do you notice what I notice? Yaakov is again humbling himself. Mincha yishlucha. This is a gift which is sent. Laduni le'Esav, again humbling himself, calling Esav Adon. V'inei gamu achareinu, and here he's in back of us. Who is he? Yaakov. Pasuk Vayitzav gam et hashini. The second group. Gam et hashlishi, gam et kol ochim. Everyone that's walking in that direction. Acharei ha'adorim, in back of the flocks going. Kadavar hazeh tedabrun el Esav. He's like a Ramamash Mefaked, Yaakov Avinu. He tells every group what you have to say. Be careful. Know what you have to say to respond. B'motzachem when he finds you. Furthermore, Kaf Aleph. Everyone read, please, this pasuk, verse 21. Pasuk Kaf Aleph. Read it its entirety. It's a long pasuk. And then I have a question to ask you. V'amartem gam hinei avdecha Yaakov achareinu. Ki amar achapra fanav b'mincha ulechet lefanai v'achareinu rafanu le'Esav fanai. What is the content, the message of this pasuk? That when you say Yaakov is also in back of us, Ki Amar, the second half of the pasuk is my question to all of you. Ki Amar, he said, Achapra Fanav. What's that holiday that? Yom Kippur. What is Kapara? Kippur, Achapra Fanav. Lechaper Panav? What is the term Kapara really mean? To what? To dissipate his anger. There's a brilliant Rashi. I remember once Rabbi Weinberg gave a shur on Yom Kippur, 10 years ago or so. And he brought this Rashi here in verse 21. Second line, third line, and Rashi says, it appears in my eyes, Rashi says this with humble humility, Shekol kapara. Anytime the term kapara is mentioned, Shu etzel avon v'chet, when it's together with the words avon, iniquity, and chet, sin, ve'etzel panim as well, when it's regarding a face, kulan lashon kinuach v'ha'avarahin. Lechaper, regarding sin or regarding the face, is like to move away, to remove. Achapra fanav. You said dissipate, use the nice word. I want to remove from his face what? What do I want to erase from his face? His wrath, his anger. How? Ba'mincha ha'olechet lefanai. Through this gift that's going before me. V'achrechen, afterwards, eref fanav, I'm going to look at his face. Ulai yisa fanai, maybe he'll forgive me. Is this the instruction to the groups to say to Mr. Esav, yes, no, or why? Yes, no, and why? Is this what this is? We're bringing you this gift to butter you up, so maybe you won't have any more anger at Yaakov. Is that what you're going to say to someone? No. That's not strategic, is that? That's not proper. So, what is this? Ki Amar, he said. Ki Amar, it says Ki Amar chapra fanav. What did Yaakov say? Yaakov said this too.
Maybe to himself.
Maybe to himself. Rashbam, very nice. He said it to himself. The tact of Yaakov is the Torah reveals his thought, his plan, which is not being expressed, but God knows the hearts of all of us. So the Rashbam says this is what Yaakov tactically thought, and it's not part of the words of the servants, the shluchim, that are being sent out. Any questions until now? Yes, sir.
For you, I have a question about the 3 questions that are asked. Lemiata and
who do you belong to?
Okay.
Ve'ana telech, and where are you going? Ulemi elef nach. This, all these hundreds of animals, for whom? 3 separate questions.
Aren't they redundant in a way? There seems to be one.
You, the avadim, lemiata. Who are you? You avadim. Who are you? Ve'ana telech. Where are you going to? Am I a pit stop en route to somewhere else? And question 3, ulemi elef nach. All these animals, who do they belong to? 3 separate questions.
The first question,
who are you, the avadim?
Yeah, and then the third question, and who do all these
the gifts?
belong
Yeah,
to?
that's 3 separate questions.
Are they in a way inherently connected? I mean, unless he stole them, but.
Yaakov doesn't want his avadim to doesn't want them to, what is it called? To mumble. He wants them to have clear and cut answers. He wants them to be ready. Yaakov is sharp. Vakasha. Pasuk Kafbet 22. Any dramatic music adding? We're in suspense right now. That's dramatic. Said everyone to his own. Kafbet Vatavora mincha al panav. The mincha passes, meaning what is al panav? In front of him. It's going up, forward, towards the land of Esav. Remember, Esav is in movement with 400 people. And it's not clear for what purpose. V'hulan balayla hu b'machane. It's night, Laila? Yes. What do you do at Laila?
Sleeping.
You go to sleep. But what happens in the next pasuk? What happens in the next pasuk? Vayakom. Remember a biblical verb with 2 kamats, 2 consecutive kamatzim. The second one is an O. Vayakom.
Is that vayikom?
Vayakom. Do you see it? Vayakom. Okay? No.
Oh.
Any verb with 2 kamats, the second one is an O. Vayakom balaylahu, vayikach et shtei nashav, ואת שתי שפחותיו, ואת 11 ילדיו, ויעבור את מעבר יבוק. Gentlemen, this is the last subject we're studying in this short today. What's going on? I thought he's going to sleep.
He's nervous.
He's nervous. Can't sleep. Do you understand why he's jittery? Why he's perhaps apprehensive?
Yeah.
He's about to meet up with Esav and 400 people. He takes his wives and his maidservants and his 11 children, of course with his daughter, and vayavor et mavar yabok. Some of us have seen during our bus trips going up north, there is the Giladi Mountains. We learned about the Gilad and the end of last week's Parsha, right? The entire mountain range from the Yarmukh. Do you know where the Yarmukh River is? It spills into the Jordan River. At the end of the Giladi Mountains, in front of the Golan Heights, what used to separate between Syria, still part of it separates between Syria and Jordan. We have the Yarmuk River. That Yarmuk goes in from the west, from the east to the west, and spills into the Jordan. That's the end of the Giladi Mountains. The Giladi Mountains goes all the way up north until the Moabite Mountains, which is like opposite Yericho, more or less the Moabite Mountains. And there's a split in between the Giladi Mountains. This mountain range has a split. The mountains, and then there's a split. Down below is the Yabok River, Nachal, and it spills into the Jordan River. It spills into the Jordan River. More or less, if you're looking for a parallel in Eretz Yisrael, the city of Shechem, on a northern southern axis, so if you go all the way down to the Jordan Valley, you will see where the Yabok is. We're going to ask Thomas again if he can now go on the map and find the holy city of Shechem, where Avram Avinu arrived first. He's putting his finger there. Now, can you just go east of the Jordan? Go east. Go east. No, that's west. Okay, and now pick up your pants so you don't get wet. Go into the river. There you go. And now go. Okay, on the other side of there should be on the map, hopefully, some sort of design of a canal, not a canal, but a river that spills in there. So the Yabok is there. My dear friends, why is Yaakov Avinu getting up in the middle of the night and going in the direction of crossing the Yabok?
To bring his family into security.
To flee. It's much easier if you walk about the mountain of the tree.
So you said it's easier to walk down below as opposed to on the top, maybe? What else did you say there? Fleeing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
He's fleeing. Where did you hear this from?
I don't remember. But I was in this year.
He spilled the beans. I can't believe it. I wanted to surprise everyone. No one heard what Ranan said, correct?
No. What did you say?
I only came across this like a year or two ago. The grandson of Rashi, the Rashbam. And my father brings it in one of his articles, Rabbi Horowitz brings it. The intention here of Yaakov Avinu is he's going back on his strategy. And he's fleeing from the encounter with Yaakov Avinu. He doesn't want to go and meet. He changed his mind. He's jittery, the middle of the night. He can't sleep. He gets up and he moves everyone crossing the Yabok, going in the opposite direction. He goes in the opposite direction. Instead of going south, he's apparently crossing the Yabok and maybe heading north.
North.
What does Hashem say? I'm sorry. We don't go away with encounters with Esav. This has historical relevance for all future generations. That when Esav starts up with us, we are to stand strong, with pride, with confidence in God, and stand up for our rights. In many, many Esavian countries, in Europe and North America, Jews have had many, many encounters with Esavian people that are anti-Semitic, that don't want to recognize us. And the more that we bow down to them, lower ourselves, we're going to be in trouble. God doesn't want this. And therefore, after he finishes passing everyone over, Pasuk Kavdala 24, Vayikachem vayavirem et hanachal vayaver et asher lo. All his belongings, even the cheap, inexpensive belongings, Yaakov was very thrifty. He made sure he preserves everything. Vayivater Yaakov levado. Vayivater from the word notar, nishar. He's left alone, livado. Vaye'avek ish imo ad alot hashachar. Here is the first wrestling match. Here in the Chumash, okay? Yaakov is fighting with an ish. An ish always denotes importance. It could be here an angel that's representing, as Chazal say, the angelic image of Esav. And here, nighttime, we all know, represents din. As opposed to daytime, which is chesed, nighttime is din. However, Esav can fight against us. Esav can even injure us, as we are about to see, but it's only until dawn comes. Once dawn comes, then the force, as the Netziv of Elazon explains, the force of holiness gets stronger and stronger. And the influence of din gets weaker and weaker. And therefore here, metaphorically, the nighttime is going to represent for future generations the galut. Then we're meeting up with Esav. We can get hurt. We can become injured. But we're not going to be on the disabled list for the rest of our lives. The nation is Amanetzach, the nation of eternity. And therefore, as Alot HaShachar is coming, God is telling him, as the Rashba, we're going according to this particular explanation of the Rashba, God is saying, I didn't want you to do what? To flee from Esav. You have to meet up with him. And if it requires a struggle, it'll be a struggle. And according to the Rashbam, the injury, Pasuk Vav, Vayar ki lo yacholo. He sees that he can't, meaning overcome him. Who is he?
The Ish.
The Ish. Very good. The Ish sees that he cannot have a victory over him. What does he do in the meantime? Vayiga. Say ouch. Vayiga bechaf yerecho. What do we say a kaf is?
It's
A
A palm. What is yarech?
it's
Thigh,
it's the
Yarech is the thigh. This is the shok. In Yiddish, the pulki, right? And this is the yarech. When you go to the store to buy poultry and you get this and this together, it's called kra'ayim. Okay? But this is called the yarech. This is called the shok. 2 shoks equal shokayim. 2 yarechs equal yerechayim. And a shok plus yarech, 2 of them is called kra'ayim. That's enough for poultry question. Let's go back to the Chumash. Okay? Vayiga bechaf Yericho. He hits him in the palm of his thigh. Vateka kaf Yerech Yaakov. It's like uprooted. His thigh is like uprooted. Pehavko imo, and struggling with him. Vayomer shalcheni. And the Ish says, send me away. I can't do this anymore. I can't overcome you. Ki Allah shachar. Not only I can overcome, but it's for me to go. I'm representing din. I'm representing judgment. I'm representing to bring danger, to bring problems to the world, but only until the Shachar, which will be the lights of the redemption of the Jewish people. Vayomer lo ashalechacha ki im berachtani, unless you bless me. Vayomer elav ma shemecha. Ma shemecha. Who's asking who?
Ish to Yaakov.
The Ish to Yaakov. Vayomer Yaakov. Vayomer lo Yaakov ye'amer ot shimcha. A name change, without Misad Panim right now, but this is the Misad Panim. You have a name change here. Furthermore, your name will not be Yaakov, rather Im Yisrael. Ki sarita, you struggled, you encountered Im Elohim v'Im Anashim v'Tuchal, meaning this Ish was nothing but a representation of godliness in the world, what we call a Malach Elokim. An angel of God. You fought, you encountered, you struggled, and you know what? Vatuchal, you won. You won. So here we have to understand what is the essence in the change of name, Yaakov versus Israel. What does it mean for future generations? Pasuk Lamed. Vayishal Yaakov, Vayomer Hagida Nashemecha. And now the opposite. Okay? Yaakov now wants to know, what do you mean, Shemecha? He knows it's an angel. Shem means an essence. Shem has a meaning. God willing, when all of us become parents, and with the help of Hashem, we have a child, the decision is of major importance, the name of the child, because we are now branding an essence, a meaning. A shame is a meaning. And this event, which is happening to Yaakov Avinu, as we explained already now, is a sign what's going to happen to the children. The struggle of Esav, of Yaakov versus Esav, or the ministerial angel, is something that we're going to be meeting up with for all generations. And here, the most important point that we first took out of this is that we don't escape, we don't flee, we don't shy away from encounters. We have to stand up for who we are. And violence is not the matter. And violence, if it will be taken to us, we have to defend ourselves. Thank God today, the Jewish people have a state for the first time in 2,000 years. And God is giving us the abilities, the finances, the economic abilities, and the technology to defend ourselves, because we know there are people out there, nations out there, that don't want to tolerate the presence of the Jewish people, don't yet see the goodness of the Jewish people. So for this point, what is really the symbolic importance for all generations, and the name of Yaakov versus Yisrael, Yisrael versus Yaakov, we'll treat, God willing, in our next shiur.